In today's tutorial, we're going to take a plain hat and turn it into something that expresses our creativity. The supplies that we're going to utilize for our hat are hunter green rhinestone embellished flowers, some 1.5 inch satin ribbon, a ribbon slider, felt circles, optional, a hot glue gun, a lighter to heat seal our ribbon, and plenty of glue sticks for our hot glue gun. From start to finish, this creation took about 15 minutes. And this includes that hot glue drying pretty quickly. The most difficult part of this tutorial for us was getting that ribbon slider to work with the 1.5 inch ribbon, because the ribbon was a little bit bigger than the slider. So if you have the right size, you should have a lot less trouble. Alright, the first thing we're going to do is put the ribbon around our hat. Now you may be wondering, where can I get these hats from? We're going to be offering these both embellished and as blanks on our websites. And you can also find them at your local craft store, if you go to a thrift store, if you go to garage sales, you can find some really cool embellishments there, and sometimes you can find some unused hats as well. We decided to use a ribbon slider because we find that sometimes the ribbon seems to leave a really big gap between the ribbon and the hat itself. But with the ribbon slider, you can tighten it, and you can definitely know that it's not going anywhere, and you don't have to glue it. This is a benefit if you would like to just embellish your hat with different colored ribbons, so that you've got it for this outfit, then you change the ribbon and you've got it for another. When you use the ribbon slider, you do not need to use any hot glue. Just be sure that you heat seal it. All we're going to do is we're going to take the amount of ribbon for that hat, and we're going to run each tail over and under the ribbon slide. So one is going to go over and then one's going to go under, and it looks really good. Have patience with it and just gently tug and work each tail of the ribbon through gently. And then you can tug on it a little bit more until you feel that it's as secure as it needs to be for your hat. An alternate method you can use for adding the ribbon is crisscrossing it at the back like an X. This will leave less of a gap, and you can leave it as tails, or you can trim it and then lift up the tails of the ribbon and then hot glue it to the underside of your hat. Our rhinestone flowers have a plastic backing to it. So we're going to take our scissors that are our household scissors. Don't use your fabric scissors when you're trying to cut off a piece of plastic, because that can damage your scissors. We're going to keep the base of the plastic backing on our flower. And the reason why we're doing this is because it seems to allow the flowers to pop back into place better after we've stored them. We're cutting the stem as close as possible. Now we're going to take our hot glue gun and we're going to add a generous amount of glue, not so much that it's going to drip onto the hat where we're not embellishing, but enough that it saturates both the flower itself and the plastic piece. Basically, you're making sure that flower, the fabric part of the flower, does not go anywhere. This is where your felt circle can come into play. If you're using a felt circle, that will go on the underside of your hat. Use your finger as a guide. Place your embellishment, which is our flower. Press firmly, and then at the same time press against it with the felt circle until it all adheres, and move on to your next spot. If you don't have a felt circle, use a little bit less glue. Press gently on your hat at the area where you want your embellishment to be. Let it catch, let it dry, and then go back and add some more glue. But do this in a few different steps, so that way each time it's adhering and drying securely onto your hat. As you see here, we've added 3 flowers with the rhinestone centers, and we've been playing with it, trying to see if we wanted to add a 4th. Again, all based on your preference, but this did not take very long at all to make, and it's really cute. You know how those birthday hats have that elastic where it holds the hat on the head? Well, this has it also. And if you have hats that have that elastic on there, you know how it can be cumbersome or it hurts or pinches? Well, you can cut that off and use some of your satin ribbon and glue it to the underside, the top part of the brim of each side, of your hat and make it long, and then you can let it dry. You can even add a rhinestone or a felt circle to really make sure that it adheres to your hat, because you're going to be tugging on it. Because what you can do is you can tie a lovely bow that hangs down. So that's just an added idea that you can use. We thank you so much for liking, sharing, and subscribing. From my family to yours, have a fabulous day. Don't forget, anything you create is going to be fantastic because you took the time to create it.